Hello and welcome to another scene for the Living World of Darkness, Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition venue set in the Kingdom of Apples. Today's scene takes place in the evening at the Autumnal Equinox Festival being hosted at none other than the County Freehold. It's now that it is nighttime, the decorations tend to have a more ethereal quality to them because they still must be seen. So those autumn leaves of various shades, a gradient of colors from the small sliver of spring green still remaining to the bright, vivid reds, um, decorating this festival, now having a certain ethereal glow to them so that you can see them. They create an ambiance, a warmth, even as the autumn chill begins to wrap around you, to remind you that summer is at an end. And ahead of you, the bite of winter. But tonight is a night of celebration. Vendors have set up various stalls. There are Vivi from Vixen is selling mead. There are a few other merchants, some selling handmade jewelry, lovely chimerical clothing, fruit. As you look about, you may notice that some of the fruit stands have a certain amount of disarray to them from earlier chaos. And out of the corner of your eyes, you can see the occasional rabbit nibbling on produce that has been upturned. And this is where you find yourself, this festival bustling with activity, dancers, performing, getting symbols of the changing seasons, people preparing to tell grand stories before a bonfire that's being lit as I speak. And this is where you are. So please tell me what you're doing.
Well, as this is a great freehold event, Charles is currently entertaining guests, checking in, making sure everyone's, enjoying themselves and stuff like that. He may still be, a knight of the county, but he's not the one like dressed up in full uniform, standing guard over the area. He's making sure that everyone here is, enjoying the party, the festivities, and everything along those lines. And it's like he's back in his element, in these parties, in these area arenas as he's going around. And, it's almost like he's dancing through the area. Not quite exactly, but he's flitting from group to group and ingratiating himself and integrating himself, if briefly, if just for a moment, with pleasantries and smiles and talking with people before moving on to the next group with barely a moment. But that's still that lingering presence of him having been there for the moment, touching their evening.
As you talk to these people, these groups of people, there's a certain amount of gratitude that exudes from them, in spite of the general malice the mane of Charles may wield. That which resides within him and the Baku, and that relief from the months of nightmares, something about that resonates within them. And even though he is truly terrifying, in the most beautiful of ways, there's a smile of gratitude on each of their lips as he greets them.
And what a strange thing that is, gratitude. You didn't catch it quite at first, but it became something somewhat noticeable after, the fifth group. Because it was just something that was common amongst every single one of them. This connection he has with all these people here. Strangely fascinating. Well, at the very least, he'll get to enjoy this evening before everything goes back to normal. Or a new change comes around anyway.
While all this is happening, Misha has already been there for a little bit. She's holding a meat in one hand and sitting like on the ground or on a ledge or a rock or something, just kind of on the edge of things, with the Naba playing at her feet and starting to act a little curious about all the other bunnies. Well, not other bunnies, but bunnies. All the bunnies around. And she's starting to sort of work her way out to try to play with them, as well as get some of that produce, because, produce is very good. And so Misha's just kind of keeping an eye on that situation and kind of watching those around her as she sort of slowly sips on this mead.
To Misha, you'll notice as well, even if you don't engage with others, they look at you with a certain amount of thankfulness. They smile at you, they step out of your way, but not in that, oh, you were in my path sort of way, but if you have somewhere to be, we're not going to stop you. Even the rabbits seem relaxed around you.
She'll lean down to Anaba and sort of whisper in her ear, that whole, if you like them, try to get them to convince them to come over here. We'll form ourselves a little rabbit army. And she'll actually go and start buying some of this produce to put down near her.
Mm.
She feels uncomfortable with the people that are noticing her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she understands why. But at the same time, she prefers to be more invisible. And it's difficult these days, obviously. But yeah, she's just going to kind of try to stay out of people's way. And if they say something, then, she'll say hey or whatever. But yeah, she's going to sort of attempt to start building up this, I don't know. Like I said, go get some produce, put it down near her feet, and let Anaba see what she can do with trying to gather these rabbits that are still around.
And yeah, they'll sort of follow her around as she twitches her nose at them and goes back towards you. And perhaps it was that rabbit connected gift with Baku that now makes them feel more comfortable towards you as they tend to gather around you, nibbling at produce.
Oh yeah, gonna get down on the ground and start like petting them and stuff. With the ever-growing hair mafia, since that's what's being said on the side. I'm going to call it the Rabbit Whisperer.
It's going to be a great TV show, I guarantee it.
Well, funny thing though, because as you kind of kneel down, you can see underneath the table, on the ground, sitting, holding one of these rabbits. There's Lara. Just sitting underneath the table. She has like this stack of food there. You don't know. She doesn't usually carry money, but she got it. And she's like, doing the bite for the rabbit, a bite for Lyra, a bite for the rabbit, a bite for Lyra thing.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
And the sound of rabbits crunching things seems to be getting louder and louder, evidently. I may have to hire people to take these rabbits with me. Can't carry them all, man. She'll kind of look over towards Lyra and just kind of give her one of that little sort of, acknowledgement half-wave kind of things. Even as the rabbits grow. She's not trying to keep them or anything. She's just kind of, feeding them and slowly befriending them.
Mm-hmm.
Lara will happily wave back. Hi! I got a rabbit here. He likes to eat things. It looks really cute.
They do?
Don't tell my brother.
I'm going to take as many of these back as I can. If you want, you can keep it at my freehold with the others.
Oh, I meant to sitting under the table. He would disapprove of it.
Oh, who cares? Why would I? That's not even a secret.
But now the rabbits, they had birds hunting them. So we set them free. It was fun.
Oh, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Well, as the current hair whisperer, I approve of this.
What's a hair whisperer?
Well, this is a hare, as she points to Inaba, who is like I don't remember all the differences between a rabbit and a hare, but basically, if I recall correctly, the body's longer, the ears are shorter.
Mm-hmm.
She does look different than your average bunny.
Yeah, well, jackrabbits have ears for ever.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I like I said, I couldn't remember very well.
No,
Right up to Charles's eyes. Poke them out, Maxine.
anytime, Bethel. Yeah.
Either way, she does look a bit different from your standard, all the other bunnies around.
Mm-hmm.
So she does stand out. All aside from the fact that she's copper.
Those moonstone eyes.
With moonstone eyes, yes. But it's even aside from that, she's just shaped differently.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll be like, this is a hare. A hare, a jackrabbit. It's not actually a rabbit. A jackrabbit is a kind of hare. It's really confusing.
I thought this was your hair. She points at, her hair.
It's spelled differently. But believe me, I've totally heard the explanation about the differences between a hare and a rabbit. I probably should have actually listened a little closer.
You're welcome.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Are you gonna keep your rabbit?
He's not mine.
No, none of them are. I mean, this one's mine, but like the others I don't claim. But I think I can give them a good home, so I'm probably gonna take them back to the freehold and let them wander.
Okay. Then here. She hands over rabbit.
Oh, I mean, it's up to you and him if he wants to come. Like, if they seem okay with it. I'm not gonna take anyone who doesn't want to go.
It's rabbit? I don't know how you ask a rabbit where it want to go. Where do you want to go?
Doesn't somebody have primal?
I was gonna say primal
Nope.
one anyone.
As a matter of fact, I do. Christy, do you mind if Inaba comes over to Charles?
She's kind of wandering around trying to gather the bunnies, like Misha asked her to. So there's no reason why there couldn't be bunnies near you.
Yep, exactly. So there's Charles, he's at first he's having to move one past one bunny, and then more have been going, and then he's seeing a certain one he recognizes, and he's following them to where the source of the quote unquote disturbance is, where all these things are going. It's like, oh, and here are all the escapees. Wonderful to see you all.
I'm going to take them home with me if they want to come.
Oh. Well, the freehold of the free hare would, I'm afraid, well, while the freehold of the free hare definitely has its mascot, he says, looking at Inaba, I'm sure the others would, I'm sure having more the merrier would be the case. Would be suitable, I should say.
Yeah. In theory, I should ask the others what they think, but you know what? If we can have, bird thing going on and a seal thing going on, why not add bunnies to the, the hare? Why not?
Why not, indeed? So what's your plan to get them all there?
Probably gonna have to buy a lot of pizza and ask people to help me carry them.
Well, I'm sorry. Oh, I was afraid. I was wondering if you were going to go the Disney princess route and just have them follow you wherever you went.
I'm not sure I'm quite that charismatic. Nor am I a princess. Can you imagine what an actual princess would say if I was?
He looks at Lyra. My lady.
I'd ask you for tea.
Tea.
Yes.
Well, I can get you tea along with all your delightful goodies down there.
I mean, I'd have to sit at the table though. It's more fun down here.
Only if you're afraid. Only if you don't think you can share your tea with bunnies.
That's
No.
true.
Now, who said you had to sit anywhere?
My brother.
I don't see him around, do you?
No.
I didn't think so. I'll get you some tea. And he leans down actually to one of the rabbits, and he scrunches his nose a little bit at one of them as it's scrunching back. Maybe, I don't know. He looks. I mean, I don't know if they can see his chimerical self or not or anything like that. But he scrunches his nose a little bit, and he takes one of the produce, one of the bits of produce that they have, and starts sort of like crunching it, you know, in that fast way that rabbits do. Before he leans down to the rabbit's ear and he whispers, "The girl that's dripping wet all over the place. Make sure you and your friends follow her wherever she goes." That's my bunk for Primal 1.
All right, let's say you're in a freehold, and that was fun to watch. So I'll give it the bunk and the freehold -3 altogether.
All right, sounds good. And what are they? Are they chimera? Because we are in a freehold.
They're not.
Oh no!
They were.
Damn it! I only have 1d10 on this, Carol.
Wouldn't that be nature?
Yeah.
Yes, which means I only have 1d10 on this.
Well, you also have primal. I mean, the actual art itself. So that's 2.
Yes. No, I don't have art. I don't have nature, so it's only 1d10, Carol.
Well.
Okay, let's see if I can do a diff 5 or higher.
Right.
1d10 plus a glamour. I think you have to spend, don't you?
I do have to spend a glamour as well. Let's see how this goes. Carrot, he does it! Yay! 1 success.
Like the rabbit is like looking at Charles. It doesn't have the mortal's tendency to ignore what is in front of him, which is how I've generally imagined the reason why they can't see your fey mane. That level of denial. Why would a rabbit need it?
Yeah, I've always thought animals probably knew. I did. That was always my thought on it. So
yeah. So yeah, it sort of stares at Charles a bit. It's like, okay. And just sort of does like a little head tilt and sort of hops to the next one, and you hear the little bruxing sound that rabbits make where they're crunching like their teeth against each other, and that little sound sort of passes along through the rabbits, and they're rabbits, so it's not like they're going to be like get in like marching formation.
Yeah, I know. But Charles, satisfied with his mild prank, is going to go off and get some tea for Lyra.
It's a prank that Misha's going to be like, we'll be perfectly fine with the funny. That's the funny part.
Why are they following me everywhere? They won't stop.
And
well, they have to sleep sometime.
Managing the booth with like warm refreshments is Desiree.
Desiree, Freeholder Desiree, Freeholder Nottingham. A pleasure to have you here this evening.
You can just call me Desiree, she says. She kind of idly rubs at her shoulder.
Mm.
An interesting day today.
It is indeed. My first. I wasn't really aware of it last year, to be honest.
Sometimes these things pass under the radar.
Mm.
What can I get for you?
Well, not specifically for me. I'm getting tea for a young young princess, so it were.
She nods. Okay, any specific blend? And she just sort of like vaguely rummages through the various things at the booth.
I'm going to trust your judgment on one new to this world and ready to accept its delights.
She just kind of thinks for a moment. I guess hibiscus?
That sounds excellent.
She just shrugs like this is far too much pomp and circumstance for what is going to be an herbal tea. Throws the tea bag. She is not the tea connoisseur that Caldwell is, and produces a styrofoam cup with a tea bag and hot water.
Yes. Thank you. How goes, while I let this steep, how goes the freeholding?
It goes well. There have been a few people who believe that staying the night grants them some sort of ownership that I've had to have strong negotiations with, but other than that, it's fairly easy to manage. It's a small freehold after all.
Of course, but still connected to the greater scheme of things.
And she gives a sort of gracious smile. Well, being connected to the greater scheme of things is certainly your forte.
Well, I am what I am. I make no lie of it, save for dreamers from time to time. But to your success and your health, Desiree, may your freehold stand along with the rest of this county.
Thank you. And she just kind of seems a little flustered for a moment. May you stand as well.
I'll have to lie down to sleep sometime. But good night, Desiree, and thank you. At that, Charles takes his tea. Oh, well, not his tea. The tea for Lyra, and makes his way back. Lyra, I think you are going to enjoy this particular concoction.
Lyra will reach out her hands from underneath the table.
Now be careful, the pot is fresh and hot. You might want to steep it just a little bit more before you start drinking.
Okay. She'll, start blowing into it.
Did you ever find Imogen, or did Imogen ever find you? I'm curious.
Well, how do you know that we weren't looking? What?
Well, after your little message to me, I went straight to see him about you.
He didn't say that.
I'm sure he didn't, Charles said with a smile that's not too kind.
I bumped into him. Oops.
Literally.
Literally. Oh, Christy dropped out. Oh no. But
No,
she's
I'm
back.
back.
She's back now. Yay.
No! Everybody raise your hands for Christy. Woo!
Did you know? I'm certain he didn't see that one coming.
I don't know. Maybe he did, but he didn't really. Sounds weird. Oh well. And then he showed me his mirrors, and now I'm his student. Look, I have one, as she will hold up from like a necklace, a very tiny little mirror.
I see.
This one, but I think it's really small. Like I can really only see my own eye.
Mirrors see a lot of things depending on their size. Sometimes the smallest ones see the most.
Want to poke at him?
Is that a challenge?
Yes,
Sure.
give me your Charles.
And Flyer will, hold up the mirror and will look at it very intensely with one eye.
Mm-hmm.
Looks kind of ridiculous.
Charles just sort of chuckles at that one, and he gets up from his standing there. And there is actually some food on the table as well, not just underneath her stuff here, but he starts taking at least one of the pastries that are there and starts to munch on it a bit.
If the looking through this thing with like one eye, that would be like a one bunk. If you want to add some craziness to it, feel free, and I'll reduce it some more.
Let me think. I have a feeling you can do much with mirrors. Ooh,
You could break it.
You could.
Oh God, no! I'm not going to break it.
You could steam it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking something like the tea, since it's hot, and Charles just gave it. So
dip it into the tea.
I was going to say,
kind of the idea.
Why don't you just blow? You could blow on it with, like steam it, like she said, and then write something on it.
You know what? Lyra is very easily distracted. She's going to dip it in the tea. She's like, look, it's so tiny, it can fit in the tea. And then,
Okay, I'll reduce it by another bump. So 2 for the bunk, and then 1 because you're in a freehold. So difficulty
3.
reduction 3.
I got a whole 4 dice for this.
Ooh.
Yay!
Wow. Do I not have more? Didn't I roll more dice last time? I don't know anymore.
Oh, was I in general? Oh, I was in suburban apples when I rolled that. Jesus. Okay. Sorry.
I got 10, 10, 9 there.
Wow. I can see the future.
Remember last time? I also had such a brilliant roll for him.
It's just like
apparently
so
your future is very bright.
Let's see. You see, let's see, how far into the future do I want to go with this?
Go as far as you want, Carol.
Fire away. Basically, please, for the love of God, because it's like 6, it's 6:45.
Okay.
Just, whatever you're saying is what Lyra is saying, because I'm not going to be able to comprehend.
You see Charles being pushed into a police car as somebody out of the line of your vision screams something about a John Waters film. Who the hell is John Waters? You don't know.
Nope.
But I've never heard of the musical Hairspray based on the John Waters film of the same name. I'll see you later, Charlie.
Oh god. Well, like I said, she's literally describing exactly that, so that just kind of blurts out of her mouth from underneath the table.
Charles just sort of like stops chewing mid-chew. And there's like a look on his face like some, like, you know, that thing when someone spoils the book. For you. Mhm.
Oh, wait. Oh, he said that that you didn't want to hear about it, right? Oops. Sorry.
Well, cat's out of the bag now.
Where?
Probably hanging out around the corner with some of the bunnies.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be happy to introduce you at some point.
Oh,
Actually-
nice.
If you actually see Felix here, let me know. As she looks at Charles.
If I see Felix, I would like to have a talk with him before I mention anyone else, because I only met him once, and I never got the chance to have a really good conversation with him. He kept pushing all the alcoholic ice cream off the table, though. That was some fun.
That sounds like him. He had a bit of an obsession with pushing things off tables.
Sounds cool.
He's a cat puka.
Oh.
But he moved.
I want to have a cat.
But you wouldn't have anything on top of anything if you had him as a cat. But I can tell you this much, that rat does not actually taste that bad.
Screams and bonar.
No,
No,
Great White Mouse will punish you.
Hey, this is a reference back to the old days when we were talking. God, it was Gwen and Misha who decided they were going to take all the rats that Felix was bringing back and find a recipe for rat, because we weren't going to waste all this meat that he kept bringing us. So we made like rat burritos or something.
Rat on a stick.
We totally did this. This was
Come get your rats! Come get your rats! Fresh rats!
Somewhere in Central Park, Mother Larissa gets an itch and she doesn't know why.
I mean, the rat, we actually found a recipe. I actually found a legit recipe for this. And yeah, we also had he also used to bring in pigeons. We hadn't gotten around to trying that yet.
Well, there are pies that involve pigeons, so.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so she'll just kind of look thoughtful for a second and go back to petting one of the bunnies, keeping an eye on Inaba so she doesn't get too far. Because it's easier for her to get a little bit more lost when there's so many long ears around.
Why are you getting into a police car, actually?
I don't know. That's the future, isn't it?
I could think of a lot of reasons. As she looks at Charles.
You could have done something in the past that would... I don't know.
There's a general, not chaotic commotion, but the hustle and bustle of people gathering around a raised platform that's in the center of the fairgrounds. And you see Count Leon standing there, and beside him, a rather dark and sinister looking individual, dressed in violet so dark it's almost black. He looks less jovial than your count, but holds himself with a certain air of importance that definitely denotes his station, if not in general, definitely for the evening. And Leon will give him like a gentle sort of nudge. And he gives the lion puka a dirty look. Please gather around. There are some accommodations from the county to some of its citizens that we would like to recognize.
Charles makes his way forward to the to their, representative of the state of the county, knight of the county. He needs to be at least near the stage.
Mm-hmm.
Misha will take like an extra 30 seconds or a minute because it's probably going to take time for people to move anyway. And she's going to kind of wade through all these bunnies and attempt to find her bunny.
Mm-hmm.
And pick
Bunnies
her up
keep
and walk.
passing around.
That's fine. She doesn't care.
It's like Pikmin. Just
Oh dear.
Lyra's actually gonna look for Amjijin.
Mm-hmm.
If he's there somewhere.
He'll be somewhere further back from the crowd. Crowds are not a great place for the blind.
Well, she'll go stand with him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where his overlay is right now.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. But anyways, yes. Leon sort of crouches down, very casual for the evening, because for one day this year, he does not have the burden of the responsibility of count or anything. And he sort of crouches down. Charles, are any of the others who helped you out here tonight?
What was that? Sorry. Oh, he's asking me. Okay, I'm sorry. In character, I was confused for a moment. Councilwoman Misha is here, and Lady Lyra, Lady Rhiannon, while maybe not integral, did accompany us on the journey.
Wow.
Wait, we helped him? As Misha looks very confused by this. He wasn't really in charge.
What? Who are you saying this to?
She's saying it out loud to Charles, but it's loud enough that they can hear, like Leon and whoever.
Are you saying that about Leon or Charles? I guess is the
Charles.
Oh.
I'm thinking about Charles.
Oh. He just sort of gives a shrug. Not my problem tonight. If you feel slighted in some way, you are unseelie, as is my knight. And for tonight, this gentleman here, he says, as he gives far too informal of a clap on the back to this rather stodgy looking Leon.
Start plotting to send Leon cat videos tonight.
He is in charge. Feel comfortable to burden him with whatever it is that's bothering you. It's my night off.
Oh yeah, she wasn't even directly talking to Leon. She'll just look at the other guy and be like, "It was kind of a group effort. He wasn't in charge."
I don't think anyone said I was in charge of anything. I think it was just anyone who said helped anyone out.
Well, if I misheard, I'm sorry. But that's what I heard.
Fascinating. If I may have everyone's attention. This county, truly all of Concordia, and kingdoms the world over, owe a debt of gratitude to individuals within New Hope for their efforts in restoring balance to the dreaming. And he is looking at note cards.
Do they all have a paw print on the end of
On the back. There's much gratitude to Baroness Alice Amari for he just kind of looks at Leon. Sorceress of Pyretics. For her efforts. He's just pausing as he goes over each word. Like, it's painful to give thanks to people he views as below his station, and this guy just views the whole world as below his station. So much thanks to Baroness Amari. She is a gem to not only Concordia, but shines brightest in Manhattan. Takes the next card.
I love this guy. I hate him, but I love him.
He just starts giggling because he just sounds man.
Please, please don't. No. You need to dial back that effort. You're really showing too much caring for this situation.
It's not even that. He's just trying to imagine all of the flowery things he's going to say about her, and that's just hilarious.
For the and he just pauses and shakes his head. To the voluptuous vixen fox puka of
oh my god, Misha's gonna look at Leon and just grin at him because she is sure he wrote this shit. Like he give Leon a thumbs up.
Leon just kind of smiles. Yeah, he's off duty tonight. Whose generosity and kindness are outshone only by her generosity and experimental nature. The sorceress of summer. And he's visibly gritting his teeth as he turns the card. To Councilwoman Misha Brooklyn. For always being an interesting challenge. Stepping forward. Swimming fast. What? And generally keeping the conversation interesting. How is this what she's done for the county? And Leon's like, read it. Keep on.
Someone has to do it. She loves me. She looks up there.
The spring sorceress. And he looks at Leon, and Leon points to where Misha is in the audience. Like
Misha gets a big grin on her face. Yeah, Misha gets a big grin on her face. Starts waving her hand real big.
Thank you for your service to the dreaming in Concordia.
I love this.
In exchange for your efforts, we offer you passage from Calypso's grotto to the Sea Freehold in Queens. And there's a sort of like reverent clap from the audience, and he's like, "I'm moving on to." He looks a little less stiff because this is Sir Carraris, and he looks. And Leon's like, that guy. He's just, yes.
Charles just smiles far too wide.
Not used to being smiled at. He just sort of squints.
Not to mention it's the most not nice smile.
To Sir Cararis, future namer for Kingdom of the Burning Sands, Duchy of the Lone Star. The county thanks you for your efforts, and you will be missed. And he just sort of snarls those last few words out. Thank you for all that you have done. And for all others whose efforts were certainly indispensable, yet your names not among the four. We thank you sincerely from the bottom of our hearts. You are what makes Concordia great. He just folds the note cards in half and sticks them in the breast of his shirt pocket. He looks at Leon. Is this all? Leon gives him a thumbs up.
Charles actually goes, to be fair, Your Excellency, as he goes to the Aileal, you're the one who decides that.
Well then, I believe we're done. And he just and like dusts his hands off as though he's touched something dirty, and the note cards of thanks sits on the chair, the throne Leon sits on for formal ceremonial occasions. So when you guys have not seen him sit on, and even now he's sitting on a folding chair off to the side. He's like, nah, it's good. You did good. It was good. Real good. I think they bought it.
Now he's just pondering graffiti.
That Charles is going back into the masses for the most part, but there might, I don't know how many of them are asking, like, the Burning Sands, why do the Burning Sands and stuff like that. But I was like, no, I have found that for all my efforts within New Hope, there is another path for me, and it calls to me out in Burning Sands. I find this is a great opportunity to help build the structure of another county.
Kind of meandering her way through the crowd is Mariposa. So you're heading to my former kingdom.
I would say that I am. As he says, he doesn't fluent Spanish. He says, he bows to her. I would say that I am your my lady.
I trust you will treat the individuals there with respect.
They were here long before me.
They will appreciate that sentiment more than you expect. She gives a polite half bow before turning and making a respectful exit.
Meanwhile, Misha, she's going to kind of make her way back to where she was sitting before. Presumably with Bunny is sort of still working their way around her.
Definitely working their way around her.
And she'll set Inaba back down to go do all the things. And she'll kind of look over to Lyra, and she'll just be like, and he's still better than Isidore.
Who?
Asshole we took Brooklyn from.
Oh.
Yeah. That dude,
Mm-hmm.
no personality. Like, no, he clearly didn't want to be up there. And yet he was still more coherent than the insanity of Isidore.
Who didn't want to be up there?
The person who made the announcements.
Oh, right. Yes. Oh. What did they say?
Bunch of announcements that were supposed to be, oh, thank you so much for, helping the world, and really came out as, I'm so bored. Can we please hurry this up?
Aw. I mean, I would be bored if I had to read announcements.
They
It
weren't
sounds
that
boring.
long.
If that's your job, then
They weren't that long.
still.
Although I have to appreciate Leon's sense of humor in this one.
Because he was bored?
No, because I'm pretty sure that he wrote all of those announcements and just gave them to him.
Okay, well, good for him.
Puka's gotta have fun once in a while.
Not just Pukas that can have fun.
Yeah, I know. But Puka are known as the tricksters.
Well, I suppose that's true. There's a pout there.
Do you want to be the trickster?
No. But I want to have fun.
Nobody's stopping you.
I know.
Are you sure you don't want to keep one of the bunnies?
I don't think that a bunny would do well in an apartment in Manhattan.
Well, I did offer that you could keep it at my place, at the Freehold.
Okay, but only if one of them wants to.
Fair enough. Still gonna have to get people to carry him, though. For some reason, they seem to like me. I'm assuming Inaba's done her job very well.
It's good that they like you.
It is good. The only problem is that if they get run over while we're crossing the street, that's a problem.
I mean, we can just stop the cars.
They could. A lot of people don't if it's just a small animal there.
Well, then you go walking up the front and I will walk up the back.
We totally won't look suspicious walking through New York with the hair mafia following us.
I mean, there are trods that connect the
It's more fun this way.
Yeah, we could take trods for part of it, but we'd still have to walk through the streets for the rest, unless we're going to cut through the dreaming, and then we risk the chance of getting ourselves and all the bunnies lost.
That sounds even better.
I mean, that's a hell of a way to retire the character. I will traipse the dreaming for an indefinite period of time with rabbits.
It's okay. Eventually, I will find my way to the far dreaming and where the Selkies live, and the bunnies can play freely on the field next to the ocean. It'll be good.
As Zanaba swims with you, because a seal and her jackrabbit, just as nature intended.
Exactly. It's quite important.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do a performance sing real fast because I think Charles is gonna make a final song for the freehold. Let's see how well it goes. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 3 successes. So it's a decent song. So, but he's gonna sing. It's like, ladies and gentlemen of the evening. In the announcement that I will be leaving this fair county, I wish to make at least one final goodbye to all of you. And I can only think of one way to do it. And he gestures to someone, to a satyr there who is like playing the harp, and they start playing, and a few other instruments start playing. It's like, and now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byways, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and I did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that. And may I say, not in a shy way, oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not to say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows, and I did it my way.
There's applause from the audience, and Leon kind of looks at him a bit confused with the bit off more than I could chew. Like, what are you insinuating? And is there anything else you guys would like to do for the scene?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in particular.
All right. Then this is where we'll end it. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching.